Alright, welcome back to Avian Attorney. Let's begin our cross-examination of Mr. Valerty here. Okay, you were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid. That is entirely true. Scene of the crime, we found Dame Caterline standing over the sliced open corpse with blood on her paws. I already knew all of this except for the blood on her paws. I'd like to question all of it, but let's start with the one I think it wants me to question. Inspector, you say Dame something something. I didn't actually read it. Correct. Blood clung to her fur like guilt to a convict. How much blood was there on the lady's paws, Inspector? Enough for it to be clear that she had dirtied her hands on the victim's body. We noticed blood under the suspect's nails, around her fingertips, and even a little around her mouth. Her mouth? How vile. The answer seems pretty definitive. Tell me more. Whose blood was it? What a question. Monsieur Grenouille's, of course. How can you be so sure? I object. This line of questioning is absurd. There was only one murder victim that night, Falcon. The blood on Dame Caroline's paws could have only belonged to one person. Monsieur Grenouille. Just judge. Falcon's trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions. Afraid the prosecution may have a point, Monsieur Falcon. Do you have any reasons to suspect that the blood belonged to someone other than Monsieur Grenouille? Do I? Yes. Yes, I do. I do, Your Honor. Actually, I have more than suspicion. I have evidence that the blood on Dame Cataline's paws had nothing to do with the murder. This is foolish time-wasting, Falcon. If the blood on Dame Cataline's paws didn't come from the victim, then where did the blood come from? On the evening of the murder, Dame Cataline ate a bloody rare steak. Is this true, Monsieur Rabington? Well, in the manner of speaking, I suppose steak may have been on the menu. Then, Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that the blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak? Well... Wait, don't answer that, Inspector. It is a possibility. Oh... Oh, Inspector Valerty, is it possible that you arrested an innocent bystander simply for being a messy eater? No, hold on just a minute, Falcon. You are overlooking something quite crucial. Dame Cataline is an elegant bourgeois kitten. She has no doubt brought up with flawless etiquette and perfect table manners. At the banquet, she would have eaten the steak with a fork in her left hand and a knife in her right, like any proper civilized animal. How could she have possibly gotten blood on her paws with such good manners? Oh, that's a good question. Or at least it would be at any ordered dinner banquet. But as it happens, something was missing from that particular banquet. Something that forced Dame Caterline to eat with her paws. Dame Caterline was forced to eat steak with her paws because the silverware of the household had been previously stolen. Stolen? I don't mention any recall of that in the police report. We aren't aware of anything missing from the Warguel mansion when we performed the initial investigation. But as it happened, Baron Warguel approached us about this very subject last night. What's the meaning of all this? Bloody steak, misplaced silverware. Inspector, was your investigation so lax that you overlooked these basic facts in your initial report? Lax? My investigation? Judge, I assure you that I am the most thorough investigative officer on the force. And it is amazing that the Parisian police managed to solve any crimes at all. Oh dear. Be on your way, Inspector. Perhaps do a little inspecting for your next case. fine. So be it, messieurs, until next time. Prosecutor, I trust your next witness is ready? Yes, of course, Your Honor. Call upon, let's see, Monsieur Rabito Rubinho, the, photographer who attended the banquet on the night of the murder. Monsieur Rabito Rubinho, please approach the stand and recite the oath. How does it go? I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It's petit cliché, to be perfectly honest. Could please introduce himself for the court record? As if anybody in this courtroom does not immediately recognize me. I am the great Monsieur Rabito Rabinho, cutting-edge photographer and visionary. Don't just take people's pictures, I capture the very essence. Je suis l'artiste, tes un pipe. You may have seen my works in hip magazines, Le Branche or C'est Chaud. Right? I have no idea what that means. I can send you tweets if you like. What on earth is a tweet? Bird-to-bird communication. Come on, Falcon, it's the 19th century. Get with the times already. Yes, your works are very impressive, Monsieur Rubinho, but let's get down to business. Could you tell us about your activities on the night of the murder? Very well. I was hired by Baron Bokia to capture the evening's events. I arrived at 7 this evening. I pointed my camera and captured the beauty of the banquet in one fantastic photograph. Then I billed Baron Rogiel and I left. A true artiste. And with regard to the photograph itself, who did you photograph? I thought you might ask. I photocopied so that you could all see for yourselves. Oh, very good, let's take a closer look. My word, this is an exquisite picture, isn't it? So, let's see, who do we have here? In the middle, we see Baron Rogiel, the light who hosted the event. On the left, we've got Senor Portior Daniel, father of the defendant, Dame Cataline, and finally we see the housemaid, Pauline de Hart, who I suspect may have snuck into the picture uninvited. As you can see, two people are clearly absent from the photograph. The first is the victim, Monsieur Grenouille. The second is the defendant, Dame Cataline de Miao. Quite suspicious, wouldn't you agree? Just a moment, Monsieur Remington. This proves nothing. The defendant and the victim were not photographed with the others. It doesn't mean they were in the garden together at that point. Hold your horses, Falcon. I'm not done yet. The prosecution may continue. Behind the photograph subjects, we see a wall clock with the time set at 11:30. Why is the time significant? Well, as Inspector Valerity told us earlier, that was the exact time the murder took place. See, Falcon, every suspect has an alibi at the time of the murder, save for Dame Cataline herself. Oi, Falcon. Photograph don't seem right. It looks different than the one we borrowed from Robinho's studio. See it too. Her photograph shows Colleen Duhat, Dame Cataline, and Senor Pertor. But Monsieur Rubinho's photograph shows Baron Orguel where Dame Cataline should be standing. We assume that only one photograph was taken, then this demonstrates that one of the photographs must have been edited in some way. Just slam that evidence down, be like, bam, inconsistency, this old courtroom is out of order, case closed. I can't. Well, I suppose you could be a little more delicate with your words. Oh, I mean, I can't do that because our evidence was illegally obtained. If I were to present it, Monsieur Robinho would ask how we acquired it and the whole trial could derail. In a worst case scenario, I could lose my legal license and we could be arrested for theft. Oh. Don't want that then. No, we don't. Tread lightly. Your Honor, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. Very well, the defense may proceed. It's a waste of time if you ask me. Photographs are rock-solid evidence. Monsieur Robinho, I would like to ask you about your billing process. Okay. You bill Baron Roguel and immediately leave the scene? That's right, I'm a busy artiste, you understand. I had no time for this dilly-dallying. So you didn't witness the murder or the aftermath firsthand? No. From what I understand, I left right before the Osmaid went to investigate the garden. It's a little suspicious, is it not? Welcome, it's coincidental timing, maybe, but let's not throw out blind accusations. I don't think I need to know how much it costs. Tell me about how this camera works. Afraid that is a patented tape secret. Oh, but it is a mechanical device, yes? You pointed at something, and it clicks and whirs and shoots out a photograph? That is quite a crass explanation. It is true that I point and I fix the camera, but that only creates a negative, a prototype of sorts. I then have to develop the photograph, and that takes time. How much time exactly? Around 4 days. This photograph is hot off the press, if you will. I suppose that does explain why the Baron hasn't received his photograph yet. Can a camera ever make mistakes? Now that's a question only an imbecile technophobic Philistine could ask. No, monsieur, the camera is a flawless device. My photographs offer a perfect reflection of reality. Nothing more, nothing less. So, if there were, say, an inconsistency between a photograph and reality, what would that imply? An old question. I don't think such a thing. But if one were to see such a thing... Falcon, stop dancing around the point. Tell us what you're trying to get at. I see a mistake in the photograph. A mistake? No, it's impossible. I just told you, monsieur. The camera is a perfect, unbiased device. The photographs it produces are flawless. Falcon, I'm not seeing any mistakes. Perhaps you could be more specific? Certainly. The clock in this photograph. There's something not right about it. Oh, well, now, isn't that just convenient? The defense sees something wrong with the piece of evidence that implicates his client. Don't give me that cocky tone, Master Remington. I have evidence that there's something wrong with the clock in that picture. The photograph clearly shows the clock hands pointing at 7 and 6. Well, yeah, that's pretty self-evident. Which is most curious, because the clock in the lounge of Chateau Crinière has no hands. What? The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask Baron Roguel or his housemaid if you have doubts. Monsieur Robinho, how do you explain this discrepancy? I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake. My camera, she's flawless. There's no mistake, monsieur. The photograph clearly depicts something that does not exist in the real world. Maybe there was an error in the printing process? An error precisely where the clock's hand should be? Please, monsieur, don't patronize us. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You, Monsieur Robinho, edited this photograph. Edited? I'm no expert, but I suspect that you used paint or ink to carefully put hands upon the clock. It would have been a simple task considering that the clock face was bare. One could even speculate that you specifically chose to indicate a handless clock in the photograph just to simplify the editing process. Falcon, your reasoning's absurd. Why would the witness do such a thing? Is it not obvious? Showing the photograph to have taken place at precisely 7:30, it clears all the photograph's subjects of suspicion. In other words, Monsieur Robinho created a perfect alibi. Of course, this raises further questions. Who is the witness protecting? And why? Was Monsieur Robinho coerced, bribed, threatened? enough silence. Let's hear some answers, Monsieur Robinho. Fine, you've got me. I'm guilty. I did it all. You did it? You're confessing to the murder of Monsieur Grenouille. What? No. I have no idea who kills a frog. I'm just admitting that I'm guilty of producing fraudulent photographs. I was ordered to make changes to the printed photographs, and yes, that included adding hands to the clock. You were ordered? By whom? I dare not say. Monsieur Rubinho, I strongly advise you to answer the defense's question. You have pledged to speak without fear, after all. With respect, Judge, I fear these claws more than I fear the punishment of the justice system. I shall name no names. His claws? Did you hear that, Falcon? It is most unfortunate. Monsieur Robinho, we cannot and shall not torture names out of you. We don't live under the ancient regime, after all. But since you have admitted to falsifying evidence, then we cannot allow you to stand as a witness. Take your leave. You shall be charged with perjury in due course. I cannot protest. This is the least I deserve for my failure as an artist. Good day, messieurs. Clock's hands were painted on. So, doesn't matter. Photograph still breaks. Dame Cataline is absent close to the time of the murder. That's significant. Don't be tense, Monsieur Ravington. Photograph is not completely genuine, then it cannot be genuine, then it cannot be considered reliable evidence. Why not? It's still a portrayal of the night's events. Suppose, if we accept that one part of the picture was edited, then we must accept the possibility that other parts were as well. Is it possible that Dame Cataline was painted out? Even worse, it is possible that another person was painted in. We know that the witness was trying to cover for someone, so all possibilities must be accounted for. Oh, what are you saying, Falcon? That the housemaid paid off the photographer? Or was it Signor Portier de Miel, perhaps? I don't think so. The housemaid lacks a meaner motive. It wouldn't make sense for Signor Portier to implicate his own daughter. Well, surely you're not suggesting that the honest and beloved Baron Warguel deliberately tried to frame Dame Cataline. That'd be the most outlandish theory yet. Yeah, the Baron's a pillar of our community. He would never do such a thing. Well, sure, Ravington. I'm not here to throw accusations. That's the job of you, the prosecutor. However, mayhaps I should offer my opinion. Baron, it's not time for your witness testimony yet. So you would think, prosecutor, and yet I see my good reputation getting tarnished by your incompetence. Incompetence, indeed. Let us proceed with witness questioning. Is that fine with you, Judge? Yes, I suppose that's fine. Very good. I trust that the defense has no objections. No objections here. Fantastic. Oh, but before I forget, I pledge to speak without fear, prejudice, etc., etc. Now, prosecutor, ask me about what I witnessed over the course of the evening. Okay. Baron Warguel, on the night of the initial dinner went magnificently. When the photographer arrived, Monsieur Grenouille left to visit the garden. Dame Cataline followed behind him moments later. Senor Pertois, Monsieur Rubinho, and myself were engaged in conversation, so we paid her no mind. After the photographer had left, my housemaid left to go find Monsieur Grenouille and Dame Cataline. That would be when I heard her cry for help. Thank you, Baron. I think we all know the story from there. I would like to cross-examine the witness. You doubt my integrity, Garçon. I'm here to uncover the truth, Baron. Very well then, hit me with your best shot. Let us establish with absolute certainty that I, Baron Warguel, am an honest man. Defense may proceed with the cross-examination. On the next episode, I will see you guys there.